Okay, guys, this is the Silly King of DB, and we are going to be doing "What If Nappa Survived" Part Two. Just a reminder. I left a question in the last video about. It doesn't matter because no one replied. Please, whatever. Please, can you just next time just answer, please? Either way, this is the next video on what if Napper survived, and just a quick indication, just a quick recap of the last video. I will leave a link to the previous video in the description. First off, Nappa survives and goes Goku to Namek. And apart from that, he's now after the Frieza saga at around 1% Frieza, while Vegeta is 2% Frieza. So that's basically everyone else is basically the same. And now let's get into the video. Now, guys, don't forget to go even further beyond and subscribe. Okay, guys. So now Nappa, he has been training with Piccolo. He's a lot stronger now, mentally and physically, just as a fire and hole. And now remember, this is Nappa's last thing, just to have some good fights, to have one last good fight with Goku. You know, the legendary Super Saiyan. That's the goal. So Goku will come back, fight Frieza, defeat Frieza, King Cold, and Nappa will say he wants to fight. That will not happen immediately. It's Dragon Ball. Things will come up. Things will happen. It'll take like a few months for them to at least have their fight. So Nappa wants this fight. He's waited almost 4 years for it. Now he just needs to wait a couple more months, and when the time comes, they have their fight. It is an epic battle of proportion. The guys are going back and forth, back and forth. Not either is giving an inch. Goku has to bust out Kaioken a couple times, but it refuses to go Super Saiyan, just because he's enjoying the fight too much. Nappa's getting thoroughly frustrated with him, yelling at Goku to go Super Saiyan. Finally, at the point where both men are near the limits, Goku goes Super Saiyan. Nappa says, "Finally, the real fight begins," or something like that. And Nappa, as they take their final stances, Goku collapses, and he has died from the heart virus. See, his fight with Nappa accelerated the heart virus to the point where he could die at that point. And Nappa's just so sad. Nappa, just out of rage, just burst into Super Saiyan. And Vegeta would also go Super Saiyan eventually. And that is the end of Goku. Nappa is heartbroken. He doesn't really have much of a purpose. So a couple years later, an explosion happens. The Z Fighters rush to go find out what it is. They just look to see two innocent bystanders. They tell them to go away. The innocent bystanders shoot Ki blasts at them, and it's the androids that are attacking. And and it is implied that during the time of the androids, all the fighters simply just died in the one fight. I'm not sure if it was like over 1 or 2 fights, but with the addition of Nappa, they are able to get away, but not without casualties of Chaozu, because he tried to do what he did with Nappa, and and Nappa also feels sadness over that, and Yamcha because he's Yamcha, and they go. Piccolo goes to see Kami, just to see if they can fuse. And P.S. There are no time travel. I'm having no time travel shenanigans. Here, this is gonna be the original timeline, so we're not gonna have any future Trunks. We're not gonna have any Cell. So that's also something to keep in mind. So just purely the androids the Z Fighters are fighting against. And so now Piccolo's also a lot strong. Piccolo's as strong as he is in the anime at this point because he has been training with Nappa, which would give him the same amount of strength as it would training with Goku and Gohan. And although Gohan is a bit weaker, and Nappa goes to visit Chi-Chi. He has been visiting Chi-Chi quite a lot since the last time of Goku's death. Just to mourn and help out with Gohan and everything. And at this and later, anyway, back to the point. Kami refuses at first, thinking that it's not a great enough time yet. Because remember, the defining factor that let Kami fuse with Piccolo was the fact that Cell was there. Cell's not here right now. So they go in for another fight. And this time, Tien dies, trying to let the Z Fighters get away using, the Kien King Ho Ha. This will take the androids out for quite a while. Piccolo finally goes to Kami, and they finally fuse, and Nappa, just seeing how strong they got, he asks if there's a way to get stronger, either to Kami or Mr. Popo, depending at the time, and Mr. Popo points out the hyperbolic time chamber, but says you have to go in with someone, otherwise that could be very detrimental to mental health. So he decides to go in with Vegeta, and Piccolo. So now Piccolo Krillin and Gohan are left to defend, the lookout, but as Nappa and Vegeta are training. Next people to go in after that would be Piccolo and Gohan, just so that Gohan can be, up to date with the rest of the Saiyans. And eventually the androids would attack, because in the original timeline they do attack. I'm pretty sure they do attack Kami's lookout simply because of the lack of senzu beans. But otherwise, the android Piccolo does what he does and tries to fight 17 by himself. 17 the androids are weaker in this timeline, so 17 is getting walloped for a bit, but then 18 decides to join the fight. Krillin and Gohan decides to join the fight, but are pretty much knocked out. Gohan, feeling useless and feeling not very much capable up to the job, he goes Super Saiyan, just like how he did when fighting with Goku. Because this is the real way how Gohan can go Super Saiyan. Either way, Gohan fight with Super Saiyan, rushes in to fight at 18. 17 is then left to Piccolo. Again, they tried to hold on, but the androids again just keep up the stamina advantage, and eventually they kill Krillin. This gives Gohan a massive power because he powers up all the way to grade 2. Although the speed of it, and now he powers up to a midway point between Super Saiyan Grade 1 and Super Saiyan Grade 2. Grade 2 is the part where Vegeta is, when Vegeta fought in Perfect Cell. And that is where it's not super bulky, but it's more powerful than a regular Super Saiyan. And he is not stronger. He is about as strong as 18. But Piccolo at this point has been fighting for hours, and he is starting to really tire out. Yajirobe quickly is able to scramble away and grab Piccolo from the fray and give him a senzu. Like how he did in the Goku Black arc, but that's something else. And simply put, Piccolo is able to fight in again. Gohan is knocked down, and Piccolo is then left to fight both 18 and 17 for around another half day, because he's been stalling pretty much the entire fight. So for another 12 hours, Gohan and Piccolo have to stall. They have a couple senzus left, and that is their mission. Simply put, they are able to hold on. It gets to the point, though, however, where they basically just try to run away, using stuff like multi-techniques, just trying to run away from the android, just trying to stall as much as possible. And then it gets to the point where they both fire off a double Masenko to the androids, and they don't get killed. They do drag their bodies to the lookout and stump them there. Gohan and Piccolo are basically rendered useless, and they're wondering where the other two Saiyans are. And it's at this point where both Nappa and Vegeta come out. They are much They are now as strong. They are now Super Saiyan Grade 2 fully. They can both go Super Saiyan Grade 3, but stick to Grade 2. And, you know, and they both, and so we put both of them divide up and take on the androids. The androids have already been damaged, and it's not long before Nappa and Vegeta are able to kill them. And now Nappa, he sees three strong Piccolo and Gohan then go in afterwards. Gohan is able to reach Grade 3 sooner. Gohan is able to reach Grade 3, but Piccolo gives him the idea to master Super Saiyan. After they then Piccolo and Gohan come out. They are both at the level where Goku fought Cell, and they are both pretty strong. So Nappa and Vegeta separately go into the time chamber, while Bulma, Piccolo, and Gohan would travel to New Namek. Hopefully be able to find it with King Kai's help, and they go find Dende so they can get new Dragon Balls since Piccolo's used the Kami as per normal, and then so Gohan is now Master Super Saiyan. Vegeta, obviously, he's very, very angry. So this would sort of be like what he would be a lot stronger. He would have been also a Super Saiyan Grade 5 like Gohan, and so would Nappa when he would come out. Out of the four fighters, Vegeta, Nappa, Piccolo, and Gohan I'd say is probably the weakest, simply just because of inexperience. In raw power, he's the strongest, but as a fighter, he's the weakest simply because of his experience and his cockiness. Now that he's reached a level of Master Super Saiyan, and now that they wished everyone back, Nappa sees that he can have 3 great fights left, and he's been noticing that he's been a bit slower, especially ever since he went into the time chamber. So he realizes he only has a few fights left, so he goes on to fight Gohan, Piccolo, and Vegeta in that order. He fights Gohan and is able to win thanks to just being a smarter fighter and everything. He then fights Piccolo. It's a much more even battle. Both of them it comes down to the wire. However, Nappa is able to use some sort of burst of power in order to get past Piccolo's abilities. Now we get to the fight with Vegeta. He is simply put, Vegeta is much stronger than Nappa, simply because of the fact that he's the Prince of all Saiyans and he aspirates his energy out of his butthole. Oh yeah, quick mention, Trunks and Bulma do happen. Nappa's role in the story does not affect that. But Vegeta is enraged from the fact that that these Saiyans that can't hold a candle to him are just becoming much stronger than him, just like Goku, just like Kakarot, and so he at the time of Nappa, during some time in the fight after the two have been pretty even for a while, powers up to Super Saiyan 2. Nappa tries to fend it off, but he's nowhere near as strong as Vegeta. So what Nappa does, simply just out of a warrior spirit, powers up to his full and starts fighting Vegeta with everything he's got, just fighting with all cylinders. And Vegeta's inevitably able just kicking him down. Why do you get up, Nappa? Why? And Vegeta and Nappa just smiling because he's just having the time of his life. Nappa gets up, seeing the ways how Vegeta has done it, and seeing how Gohan was nearly able to do it. He powers all the way up to Super Saiyan 2. And at this point, Nappa beats down Vegeta. He has Vegeta in a corner, and he says to Vegeta, "It was a good time fighting you, Vegeta. Maybe next time." And just like that, Nappa powers down to base form and collapses, and because of the heart virus he caught from Goku. And just like that, Nappa has died. A few months later, Chi-Chi would give birth to Nappa's son, the name of which you can decide down in the comments.